Okay, is that better? Yep, I can hear you. Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry, so we're on 6.1 Public Works Yard Sewer Main Extension, and Jared's just explaining it to us, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
The November flood event destroyed the public works yard. We found a piece of property in the industrial park for it to be constructed.
We'll just pause.
The speaking joke.
Don't trip on that.
Do what we gotta do.
Let's change here.
All right. So as we all know, the public works yard was destroyed in the November flood event. We have a lot for it to be constructed on in the industrial park. This lot requires sewer main extension for the lots to be serviced. During this time, we will service it with water. We will also service the fire department lot and 2 other lots that were previously purchased. So I asked council that we service these lots along Laurie Curry Way in the industrial park and award the contract to Universal Construction for the sum of $321,231.90. And it asked that council approve this expenditure and be paid through the land sales reserves.
Any questions?
Just in regards to this, I also saw in the one part there that there was a request for when the director of finance comes back, he'll figure out a latecomer fee
That's correct,
on
yes.
that. So the potential is that it's more than just the 4 lots that you're speaking of.
Yes, if someone else requires servicing or would like servicing, then they
And then
they
as
can.
well, it'll help, like, for when we want to build the future part of that park, we can tie in a little bit closer.
Yeah, we could with that, yes.
And then lastly was, there's enough money in the reserves for the land sale.
What I've been told,
Yeah.
yes.
That's the next one. $1 million to cover.
That's not.
That's on the plane. Is your question?
Yeah. Is this, how much of this is covered by insurance?
Nothing on this one.
This one, not, no.
Our works building was insured.
Yeah.
And it was flooded,
Yeah.
destroyed,
Right.
and we get what from the insurance?
You're gonna get a replacement building. So,
I see.
and we have water to the site. We're providing the site, but it doesn't have sewer. So this is at our cost to put sewer down the road. And, but other than that, the replacement of the shop is insurance.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any further questions? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Elliott is making the recommended motion, seconder. Second, Mr. Mayor. Councilor Lewis. Any last questions or comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you. 6.2 sewer force main upgrade. Jared, this is yours.
All right, so this force main upgrade was part of the original $7 million borrowing. We've been plugging away at it, getting all the testing and everything done. Recently, it's come to our attention that actually in August, we had a rain event, and the runoff from this event overcame our Fenchurch lift station. So since the November flood event, something has changed in the connection between the sewer and the storm. Right now, it's kind of an emergency that we get this twinning done. It will add capacity to the station. If November's coming around the corner, if we have another event or a slight runoff like we did, we could be in trouble. So having this done would add the capacity to squeak by. This won't fix the problem, but we will be looking at investigating what's going on as we go along. So we did put this out for tender. We got one bid back at over $2 million. Our budget was, sorry, I have this written all out. Our budget for this project was $673,000. So that's $2 million. I think they were I don't think they were interested in the job. Since then, we've talked to Ironman Directional Drilling. These are the people that did our river crossings, and they were interested in taking on this job. Their proposal come in at $790,000. Request that we award this contract to Ironman Directional Drilling and it be paid through the $7 million borrowing previously approved.
Councilor McQueen, do you have a question?
Could you explain to me exactly where we're talking about?
This is the original 1960 sewer force main that runs from Fenchurch Lift Station all the way up to Fire Masters by the lagoon. And in 96, it was replaced, but it was designed to run in twin. But the 1960 line was shut down, and since it was shut down, it just deteriorated over time.
Is that the one that was got mud and stuff and everything in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, part of it, the river crossing part was affected by the flood, and we did have that part already replaced under
Previous to
DFA.
The flood was damaged or whatever.
One, that's the one years ago. I know, yeah. So yeah, that's the same spot. We had years ago, we had one that was, someone got in there and it all got mucked up and it backed up. It was at the top of the hill or something like that.
And we hope to be able to clean it out for the, obviously,
Yeah.
not flood.
Right, yeah, so that's the replacement. This is for the replacement of that line.
Councilor Willis?
So you said it wouldn't fix the problem, but
You won't.
It won't fix the runoff problem that we're having at the moment. So
that's on the law to look at that.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, just further to Councilor McQueen's point was that, and it's in your report, but that we had, when we were doing, because the request is for it to come from the $7 million upgrade that we were talking about before.
Right.
And that the hope was that it was fine and we could just clean it out and use it again and it would cost us less money. Then we found that wasn't the case. So then the request was to look at putting like another tube, a liner through it and using that. And your report does say that that wasn't an option. So then now this is the third option, is a whole new line.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and then, so you said the budget was 673,000 and this tenders for 790, which is 120,000 more
Yes.
due to,
Yeah, due to there's a shortage of PVC. It's a different technology, so it's a little bit more expensive. But
it's just so the people understand
Yeah.
why, like everything's, the cost of purchasing anything right now is up and it's the shortage in supplies. Lastly is how soon would they be able to get to work on that?
Ironman can start mid-October.
Okay, so
Yeah.
potentially finished before any November.
Yeah, exactly. That's the dream.
And then also that we're still looking into what's causing the, because obviously there's damage done in the whole downtown core that we're not aware of until probably first frost.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a comment about the viability of these people. This directional drilling is amazing. I remember when we ran the water line down from above the airport reservoir down across the highway, and had to dig a hole on both sides deep enough so that you could run a straight drill through underneath the highway. You know, these people just sit there, go down, go across and go up and we're done.
Yeah,
Amazing.
the technology is
And
amazing.
coming in out of, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe the other fellows didn't want it, but they were probably still in the 50, 1.5 or whatever sort of.
Right.
Amazing.
No more questions? Does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Councilor Rose making the recommendation. Councilor McLean, a second. Any last questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
The next one is a regular meeting of council, October 17, 2022, that is canceled. Carrier Steve.
Come to the chair. Come to the speaking chair.
I can speak to it. It's just, it's post-election and, depending on the outcome of the election, we didn't, it's appropriate to have a meeting if there's a changeover and we make decisions for the next council, so. So if there's something that does come up, we can always have a special meeting in council if something drastic comes up, but, to be fair to whoever gets elected, then this was the most appropriate. Most communities already cancel over meetings. We didn't do that, so we're doing that now.
It's the timing. The election is the 15th. This is scheduled for the 17th and inaugural is not till November 7th, I think it is. So just the timing of it.
So I have a question. So there's a few items that we've been wanting to have discussions on that are not on this agenda. And that we're waiting on return of the finance person to be able to speak to the numbers. And then now I'm just wondering, because the committee of the whole is more of a discussion so that we can share the information. And that there wouldn't be any action required, no motions, no, we can't pass any bylaws or anything like that, but like no decisions can be made, I think is the wording.
Unless we hold a special meeting of council.
Unless we hold a special meeting, okay. So is that still in the works? Or are we just passing things down until after the other?
No, I've got a reminder set up for that, and we do, most likely will have to have a special meeting of council because we have the permissive tax exemption bylaw still that needs to be adopted before the end of October. And we felt, I mean, council's given three readings, the advertising's done, but it's James' bylaw, and we felt it would be better if he was here to, in case you have any questions on it.
Right.
And I thought there was something else too, but yeah, most definitely we'll be
It
having,
was the request of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll meet as needed for sure.
absolutely.
But 2 days after the election, there could be a recount or whatever, we don't
Yeah.
know, and we don't, so we thought we didn't want to load that meeting up. So we'll just wait for a future meeting, so.
Understand that. And then if there was any proposed zoning amendments or anything like that, that's gonna be on the new council too. So is there any that might be delayed because of,
There is 7 hour already.
Yeah,
there is?
Yeah.
Yep, there's already at least one development.
Are they aware of that though?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's difficult because I can bring a zoning amendment to you with a new development and you can give 2 readings, but then if there's a change due to the election, then I would be introducing it all over again. So
Recently.
the developers know, anybody that we have pending zoning amendments or DPs. There's a few developments that will be coming to you or to council, the second meeting in November.
Okay, so we can still have the other discussions and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody want to make a motion? Counselor Elliot's making a motion, second Counselor Rose second. All in favor? Carried, thank you. The next one is 6.4, 2022 elections cost sharing agreement, school district number 58, Carrie.
This is just a standard agreement. It was provided by the LGMA, Local Government Management Association. It's just so that we can recoup some of the costs of running the school trustees election for them. So, yeah, it's some staff time, a portion of the rental, of the facility and meals.
Any questions?
So moved.
Thank you. Counselor McLean is moving.
I'll second.
Counselor Gould is seconding. All in favor? Carried, thank you. 6.5, Halloween family fun night fireworks display request. CEO.
Yeah, so this is a major community event. The last 2 years, we've kind of scaled it down to just fireworks only because of COVID. But now that we're kind of somewhat back to normal, it's very important that we have an event where we bring everyone together and sort of celebrate the year. And as you know, fireworks are not allowed without the permission of council. So this is a request to grant fireworks at the PXA for this event. Yeah, so that's basically it.
Questions? Counselor Gould.
Just in regards to the location of it, how did it become, I just want to have it just stated, how it became that, that we're making the determination that, like, we do the fireworks, because it's our line item, but that, sorry, just basically that this is also under the recreation.
Yes, so we moved it to the Recreation Department. Previously, it's been run by run under the Rodeo Association. Being that this is a community event, we felt it more appropriate that the Recreation Department be involved. And so the Recreation Department is working with the organizer, and it'll be held at the PXA, which is a municipally owned facility. It's been there for, I think the event is run for 14 years. The last 2 years, we've run it, the fireworks only, but this is traditionally where the family fun night is held.
So the spook house, the fire, provided that it's,
Yes,
the fire department's involved in it as
Yeah.
well. And then any concerns from this, like we have a rental, like a user agreement, right, or a rental agreement with PXA, or any concerns brought forward or need to be addressed further, or we good?
I think we're good. I had a discussion with the PXA president, and there was some concern with the horses. We talked about some options that they can do, and so I haven't heard anything different, so. Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to be sure.
That is our property.
I agree. I'm just like the fact that there's users on it, user agreements. I just want to make sure that they're aware
They're aware of it.
and that they're
Yeah.
making arrangements for any concerns that they have. How do we alleviate them?
Yeah, we talked about some options. I'm not sure what they've chosen to do, but assume that they're looking after it, so.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Lewis, second by Councilor Blaine, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Another Halloween family fun night, this time they are asking for the garbage truck to help with cleanup, or the dump truck for garbage for CEO.
Yeah, it's something that we've done before for major events. This event does bring a lot of people to the area, to that facility, including lots of people from out of town. We've had buses of people come from out of town. We anticipate anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people. So it does generate a lot of garbage. And so we've done it before where we just back the truck up to the loading dock, and then the organizer will just throw it all in, and we haul it away the next day.
Any questions?
Yes. On the second part of that motion,
Oh. As Bill.
yeah, and that council attend to assist with cleanup. That wasn't.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Councilor Gould making the motion, seconder. Councilor Elliott, further conversation, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Summer fun zone for kids 2022, CEO.
Yeah, Nadine just wanted you guys to be aware, it's kind of like a summer review. We did offer this fun zone, summer fun zone for kids program again this year. It's been something that we've ran for quite a few years. It's a free program that runs in the parks. Because some of our parks were damaged, we held it at Memorial Park and the pool. And then because we did get into a bit of a heat dome on hot days or days where it was really smoky, we moved it into the arena. And then we made use of the pool as well. So we had 57 children on a regular basis, and then some drop-ins on top of that. And one new thing that Nadine offered this year was there was a number of field trips. So we had actually worked with the community bus, and we moved kids around, and they attended different areas, different parts of the community. And I think it was very, very well received and very successful.
Any questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that my kids attended that and they loved it. The field trips to the museum and,
Yeah.
They went to the Martin's Lake, I
Yes,
think,
that's
and,
right.
they got fishery things there and,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a great thing for the community.
Yeah.
I actually helped out one day at the museum and it was a blast. The kids had so much fun
Yeah,
and they were so creative and yeah, it was a good time.
Thanks for covering for me that day. I got double booked, so. Councilor Elliott came to my rescue. Councilor Gould.
Just a comment that it was free. So
Yeah.
like, it
Yeah.
was free for anybody, any child to attend. I think that's a great thing, and it just comes from our recreation.
Yeah, it's something we budget in.
Excellent.
Motion?
Make that motion.
Thank you. Councilor Lewis is making a motion, seconded by Councilor
Gould will second.
Gould. Yeah. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Council reports, so Let's start with Councillor Elliott.
Not a lot to say. It's been a pretty quiet couple of weeks. I attended a couple of amazing hockey games over the weekend, and I'll let Councillor McLean speak to that. Other than that, I just want to say it's been a great 4 years working with you guys, and I appreciate the time we've spent together and all the things we've done. And that's all I've got to say.
Thank you. Councillor McLean.
Yes,
Stole your report.
I think we were talking about it in terms of attendance at the first game being in the 350 people number. Very well done. Team is at the top of the division at this point in time. People had a great time the 2 nights that they were there. It's just great to be able to bring everybody out and not have to worry about rules and regulations and all that sort of thing, and people can come out and have a good time. There are a few items that we need to adjust a little bit in terms of when we have that many people. There's different requirements and that sort of thing that we will improve on and that sort of thing. But I think in terms of, you know, people as a restaurant owner, the events that are held in July 1st and August 1st and that sort of thing are great. But as a restaurant owner, I don't need any more people that time of year. You're swamped. Bossy brings us people in the deadest times of the year, parents and visitors, and from, you know, November, December, January, February, and bring in money and everything to the town, and that sort of thing. A retired coach from Princeton that was here for close to 9 years was saying he worked it out one time, how much he figured that the team brought in, and that was back in his day. It's just amazing when you add all the things where money is coming into town and visitors and everything else during that slow time of the year when people are looking for business and everything else. It's just in many ways, it's a real addition to another little addition onto the economy of the town. And lastly, I just a belated happy birthday to 29-year-old.
Somebody's gonna
Close.
That's everything.
Thank you. Councillor Willis.
Last week I attended the mine presentation, it was interesting. And then I came to the mayor's forum. Well done, Mr. Mayor. And yeah, I just want to say good luck. I hope everyone comes out to vote and we see what happens.
Councillor Gold.
So I was working at the mayor's forum, and I was working at the tailings presentation as well, but I've been just having conversations with people, so it's been kind of nice to see what the interest is in voting, and I really do hope that we do get turnout for municipal election voting, and just, you know, just the key is that we are your voice, and we're the people's voice. So it's been a pleasure to have that opportunity and to make our little team that we did end up making this year. So thank you for that, or the last 4 years, I guess. Thank you for that. And thank you to the staff, because I think people forget that all the things we want to do, somebody has to do it for us, and that's our staff and employees too. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Where to start? So I've done a couple things this week. Or the last 2 weeks, I guess. One of the most rewarding, I guess, is unfortunately I couldn't go to the whole thing. Is the Princeton district, the Princeton High School? They have a welcome dinner for all the Aboriginal students once a year at the beginning of the year, and we have elders come and drummers, and the entire Indigenous faculty comes out and they support this dinner to welcome the new students to the school year. And it's one of the, to me, it's one of the best times of year, to be able to sit there and see this happening in our schools now, seeing reconciliation happening in our schools. And I want to thank those people that put it on, the support staff that work hard to get it together every year. As a youth growing up here, we never had that. We never had the welcome. We never had the community in that way when it came to being an Indigenous student growing up here. So it's pretty big. Went to the mine tailings up meeting. Unfortunately, I don't feel we had the turnout that we should have had at that. There's been a lot of talk and discussion around the community as to what's happening with the tailings. You know, unfortunately, every time we see there's dirty water in the river, people automatically blame the mine. And this was an opportunity for everybody in the community to come out and ask those questions and ask what's happening up there. The mine, I think, you know, overall, they are trying to be as transparent as they can on what's happening up there. And I appreciate them holding events like last Tuesday, because there was no agenda other than to educate people. And you can get rid of a lot of rumors and unknowns if people just ask questions. So I thank Copper Mountain Mine for hosting that. I've been asking for a couple of years for them to give this presentation. Unfortunately, they didn't give it. It's 4 hours long, but Councillor McLean and I went, right after we were elected, we went to a presentation that they did, and I think it was 4 hours. It was probably one of the most educational 4 hours I've spent as an elected official for the town of Princeton. They explained the tailings, exactly how it operates, exactly what's up there, and they had the independent review board there, they had the province there, they had their engineers there, and there was no question that you couldn't ask. And the other night was not exactly the same, but they had the same people there to ask those questions too. So if it happens again, I would really encourage the community to go out and ask those questions so that they can hear firsthand what's happening up at Copper Mountain Mine. Because there's some pretty amazing things happening out there, some pretty innovative things as well. As always, we continue to work with our partners on mental health and healthcare and everything else. And I don't want to bore you with everything, but it's been a regular couple weeks for me on top of everything else. So thank you. It's been a wonderful 4 years, and leave it at that. We'll move on to the next thing. Correspondence from Stephen 5. We have one letter today from the Honorable Mitzi Dean, Minister of Children and Family Development for October Foster Family Month. And the motion is from Steve and 5.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Gould, second. Councilor McLean, all in favor? Carried, thank you. And the last thing on the agenda tonight is a correspondence action requested. And it's the Youth Parliament of British Columbia, an invitation to encourage eligible youth to attend the 94th parliamentary session in Victoria at the provincial legislature chambers from December 27th to 31st of 2022. Now there is a staff recommendation here that we send it up to the forwarded to the Princeton Secondary School. I would like to keep that motion, but I would also like to add to it. The registration cost is $425. And I would like to see if we have the $425 that we could put forward if some youth wants to go to this. I know we had one youth in the past that went, and when they were accepted, there's an application process. There's only so many kids that get accepted every year. But when they were accepted, they came back to the council and they asked for assistance and with the registration. So I think if we can get a youth from Princeton that's interested and we're willing to endorse them, I would like to see that we pay the registration and that they be responsible for the travel and expenses to go down there.
So move, Mr. Mayor, with your amendment.
Councilor. Elliot, seconder.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor. Any questions or comments?
We'll leave it to James to find it.
I'm pretty sure we have the stuff all right.
Yeah.
No, we still have grant.
Plus we have training and conference money that with COVID we didn't use up, so. We have.
Yeah.
I think it's a real opportunity for 20.
Great opportunity.
It's great.
All in favor? Carried, thank you. And with that, I'm asking for a motion to adjourn. Nobody wants to make one. Councilor McLean is making the motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Gould.
How do you shed a tear over there?
All in favor? Carried, and thank you, everybody. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Have a wonderful day.